My apologies if this bores you. Shut it off. I've made these statements a million times. I've taught my students. I've done it on my video programs about how. Sorry, I've already got. There's like some little tiny spider on my ear. They dropped from the trees on there. My day was going fine. We were about to hit peak heat. I was almost on to nod off, and sure as shit, one of the Austin meth heads shows up. Maybe I'll tell you why I know he's from Austin. Maybe I won't. It's so. And actually, at one point, he offers he actually starts with something I tell it about. I do these videos about how I don't have the loneliness gene and how methamphetamine just amplifies loneliness in human beings by, exponentially by like a Googleplex. This guy, this is a setup. Obviously, based on what he said, he's probably living in that car, old car with a donut tire. This is Pflugerville. You don't really see people driving around that just got off work at 2 o'clock with a donut tire because they just get it fixed. This isn't Austin, where you see all kind of vehicles, mostly on the east side or center. They've got the window busted out, has been busted out for months. They don't have the money to repair it. It's not cheap. And he does the classic that I've talked about when people ask you for a light or a cigarette, the woman's got a silver cigarette case and a gold light or something in her purse and but she'll still ask a gentleman, do you have a light, big boy? It's so gay, because this is one of the reasons I don't like and will never support the legalization of methamphetamines. I won't paraquat outlawed. I'm not a libertarian, okay? I'm not far right, okay? I'm technically kind of middle of the road. You left-wingers, some extremist motherfuckers, you're as bad as the libertarians. But he did all the things. It's classic. As a matter of fact, the way he pulls up and actually from his car before he shuts it off, because you never know that he's going to get it started again. I think he just opened the door and kind of popped his head up when it goes, or even through the window, the open window. It means he doesn't have please, all these people, well, there's one car, but these people have still got their climate control on in their car just to keep the air dry, because anyway. They just always suck the life out of you. I can never go back to, there he goes again. I can never go back to Austin. He came up from Austin, clearly. And, oh God. Live with that, they use that, I've had so many of them. They'll try to bum a light. And actually, if I'm not smoking at the moment, I don't smoke. I'm so trained for it, but I've been relaxed now. And actually, that's the first time in 4.5 months, I can't even remember a car that was from here, people living in Pflugerville, that had a donut tire on it that clearly been on it for more than a few hours. None, just really don't. The couple I've seen were like I had been politely saying sex workers, the hookers coming up from Austin. When we came close to a freeze almost a month ago, and they were dumping the same type of looking, slender, about the same height, black men. They were black hookers at the 7-Eleven at 3 or 4 in the morning with one of those kind of double-sided, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I keep getting little blackouts in my, I may be maxing out my memory. It may tell me here quickly that I haven't cleaned up I don't care. Oh gosh. He really stressed me out. Some of them, they don't want to break off. I'm skipping through the middle part here a little bit to take you to the end. I mean, at the end, it was really getting bad. He started doing that hustling thing. He told me that he had stopped. No, fuck no. He had his last little dose probably a couple hours ago, and he like was pulled out a propane tank. You know, anybody wants a propane? He started doing that hustling thing again to get his next dose. Like I don't know every little action that you fuckers. That Chinese girl that came up here the other day, she was not on meth or any other stimulant. Might have had a good cup of tea or something, but that was her. You can tell by the kinetics. They have unique characteristics. Hers was more like a interpretive dance of joy and shit. His was, he was even doing the, oh gosh. He asked me for light, gets out, and I could tell once he actually got a light that as he was getting out, he shoved a 16-ounce beer or something, 20-ouncer in his back right pocket, and he's left-handed. He put it in a place where I wouldn't see it immediately, and as soon as he got a light, he pulls it out and see if I will tolerate him drinking in public. Drinking in public is permitted in Austin, even though it's against the law in the books. It's permitted in Austin, not here. I'm sitting here, and he's fucking drinking in public. You know, he's 5,000, not even that, 4,000 feet away from the police station. You know what? I can tell that every time it's the vehicles that are causing me all kind of flicker or blackout problems with their sensors and rangers. And he's standing here to see if I'll tolerate him drinking in front of me. Do I have a choice? Am I going to get up and run away? That's why they keep pegging me. This guy sought me out. He bought the beer at 7-Eleven. He was in their parking lot. Could have drank it there, kept to himself, but he's so fucking lonely because the meth amplifies the loneliness gene to the nth degree. I even told him, I said, I know you got a lighter. And he actually had the lighter in his left hand the whole time. He said it was in the car, didn't know where it was. Oh, God. And he told me that he'd quit, he's gone back to work. And the only work that he can do, especially scaffolding, is what he says. And torn up steel-toed boots like that, you're not getting a job around here. If you can't accumulate enough money to replace your boots, they're not going to hire you around here, not to the best of my knowledge. And see, it's simple deductive based on a huge database. I'm not judging the man. I'm drawing conclusions based upon the data that I have collected. I was trying to get to the point there that, especially why I don't trust them, is that meth and cokeheads, even guys that I grew up with, would eventually admit to me that they would not only have to do the bonus fellatio on the drug dealer, or if a female, whatever the hell they wanted, and still pay a top dollar for the product. They still have to have money and a sex trade at the same time to get it. So, and I'm sorry, kind of like once you cross that line, you're there. You know, you did it. The drug is not the excuse. You already had some kind of propensity to it, but it will. Methamphetamine and cokeheads will do anything when they get addicted. And God, he was so awful. He really was. That car was probably almost 30 years old. Donut tire. Windows down. No. I think it's reading my face because every time I turn away or look away a little bit, or there's that little icon. Anyway. There's only one medicine that can get you off of meth and all them other drugs, but you need to submit to lockdown and dry out. And you're going to need, if you're already schizophrenic, you're going to need Zyprexa before you can even use cannabis to control your urge to get that. I even explained to him well aware. I did a few experiments when I was young. I told them that clearly you have self-esteem issues, and you enjoy that godlike moment that you get when you take that first puff off the bolo. He was trying to get me to ask me if I had rolling papers. He's got rolling papers. Please, I know how they play this game. Then he sat there and rolled up a joint and lit it before he eventually fucking left. And now the short bus is going by and I need to watch my language, because there are people in there that have been known to lick windows and don't need to be hearing bad words, because this is Pflugerville, Texas, where they watch their P's and Q's. That's an old typesetting reference. They also watch their F words and N words. And I'm going to have to be completely non-vulgar until the light changes. And I'm already at about 10, 11 minutes. There's a great scourge in Australia, ice. We have the same scourge here, in Mexico, all over Europe, probably all over the world. The glorification of the meth dealer life I watched the series. I love the series because it was about a chemist, a brilliant chemist who went bad. He broke bad because he thought he was going to die, might die, and he wanted to provide for his family. He did horrible things, but he actually, if you remember Breaking Bad, Walter White, Heisenberg, famous, he never actually did meth himself. He's a chemist. He knows what it's going to do to his brain. He can't afford that. Remember, he's not the one waiting for the knock on the door. He is the one who knocks on your door. I admire the Heisenberg character in a way because he ruthlessly did his best to fulfill his fatherly and familial obligations. He had a disabled child and he never did the drug himself. You know, when you get to a point in your life, sometimes you don't care if you're fucking up other people as long as you provide for your loved ones. The guy that came up here, he has no loved ones because he's stolen from all of them. He's a user. Walter White was not a user. Let's make that clear delineation. Walter White is not out there smoking pole and smoking bolos and shit. That's what happens. I don't trust them. They always. Now I'm going to you can see my complete. I'm recovering now because I'm getting some fresh, cool air, because he was actually keeping me kind of trapped there when the sun was beginning to lower and hit that zone. And that's really my first real brush with a hardcore suck a dick meth head he was trying to get me to smoke that pot. Like, I'm going to smoke anything that's in your possession. You have no sense of taste, smell, no knowledge of drugs and stuff like that. And that most of the cannabis supply in Austin, where it's legal, is untrustworthy. You can't trust it. That's why I really haven't hardly smoked. I need it for my glaucoma. But these dipshits and stuff, and the guys who can, draw up a Lewis structure, doing empirical and stuff, like order the shit from China, chemical engineer can get, a good synthetic cannabinoid for, large quantities at low price, probably delivered within a couple of weeks after order online through the dark web. Pick it up in an Amazon hub box, one of the little yellow boxes. Nobody has to know, right? And I hate them. I hate meth heads. They all are sociopaths and psychopaths. They all have they're predators, that they go out and just prey upon people all day long. I'm against the death penalty, but if you get to that stage where you're become a predator, I might do a reconsideration on the death penalty. Anyway, 15 minutes. I'm exhausted. I need to take my PTSD medication, which is one of the things that if we got to know each other and he found out I had it, my life would be in jeopardy. Because that's what he's craving. He had the alcohol because he's kind of, he's still, he wants that to moderate, and then into the pot. They actually, it produces, aggravates the loneliness gene to the max, and covetousness is they won't eat for a while, but if they have plenty to another bolo, they will begin to covet every food and every drink on this, and alcohol, especially alcohol. They can withstand huge amounts of alcohol and stay conscious. They will crave every drug, especially my legally prescribed medication that I do not abuse. I've been robbed of, I made the mistake of letting a meth head in Austin know, because actually he offered, I said, yeah, actually I need to go to the pharmacy right over there. I just can't make it. A few months ago, I had almost, I think that was somebody else yelling out at me. I'm well known here. He was actually damaging my reputation in this town. Drinking in public, and somebody, just by the looks of the car, meth head, exactly what they're going to think. Him pulling out that propane tank, he apparently had several. I don't know where he got them. Pull something else out. I'm going like, no, dude, you're doing the hustle thing. You're trying to hustle me right now. I don't know anybody here. I don't know anybody that wants that. You have to just, this is the way it is. It's communicate. Oh, no. They do this real high speed assault on you. And he was going like, is it obvious or clear that I'm a meth user? I said, yeah, you're kinetics. He goes, well, what am I, getting the the cheeks, all that shit. Not yet, but your arms and hands give you away. Like I said, it's polar opposite, totally antipodal in kinetics compared to the Chinese girl who was just like a bundle of joy. I didn't see any signs of drug use in her. Not even really caffeine. Caffeine will make you more jittery. Her kinetics were more fluid, like a practiced dancer. Not jittery. Not skittering around like a cockroach, like a meth cockroach. To every meth head out there hearing my words right now, I hope you fucking drop dead. I don't care. Lord, I don't care. I don't care if I get eternal life. Get those fucking demons. Like I said before, I know it sounds like a messianic delusion. Lord, if you want to take my life right now as a bargain made with God, not Satan, because see, Satan will renege. See, that's how you never make a deal with the devil, because Satan always reneges. Lord, if you'll just make all the next, yeah, see, I'm advocating God murder somebody. See, he drove me nuts. I fucking hate you meth heads, motherfuckers, with a passion. See, I was relaxed. I wasn't ready to be full defensive, fucking pick up that fucking steel rod that I keep, unfortunately, I've got enough range to reach it and transfer it to my right hand. I need to just start leaving it. But I also smart enough not to always shield my weapons around them. That's always, when I was wearing a knife all the time, I don't have to do it here, always kept it right in the middle of my body. Not in the back, not on the side, right in front of my dink. Because my left hand, which was working then, was always ready to pull that motherfucker out and cut his right arm, cut his throat. Actually, I'm not going to tell how to cut a throat. It's not like in the movies. There's only a couple of movies that do it the right way. Actually, one movie starts off by showing you how to cut a throat the proper way. And I'm not okay. Now I smell pot. Recently, all of a sudden, there's been a lot of pot smoking going on. And there's the Pflugerville PD. And he's probably looking for that guy already. He may have shoplifted that fucking beer out of 7-Eleven or some shit. Theft is not legal. Here it goes again. I keep getting my screen goes dark for a second. I really do. I hate meth heads with a passion. You just heard me do all kind of crazy shit about bargaining with God to get rid of them. Please, well, I'll say it politely. Now, Lord, just make all methamphetamine and methamphetamine producing machines and even the precursors. We don't, it's actually one of my videos on my other channel. I show that there's ephedrine. It's legal to grow. It's growing right in front of the 7-Eleven on airport. That was my Austin is Retarded series. People were around me all the time. And I said, if you go to the other side of the building, you'll notice these long, slender things you can't miss them. They're the only thing. It's just these straight upright green things. And if you just plop your ass down there and start grabbing them and chewing them, you don't have to swallow. Just chew and swallow saliva and juice. And within a few minutes, you'll have almost the same effect as a good bolo. But no, they want the bolo. Ephedrine, there's growing as, it's legal. That amplification of loneliness and avarice with methamphetamines is far worse than I ever saw with cocaine. If you do meth, you're a complete loser. And there are a lot of people that can control their movements. But as soon as I detect any methamphetamine use in you, in the slightest sign kinetically, or other behaviors, stuff like that, we are not ever going. I don't care if you just do it on the weekends. I don't really care. If you even tell me that you occasionally do it, we're not friends. Never going to be friends. Because you're all about the game of deception and shit here. And you really can't hide meth usage. Yeah. I told you before, I've met people that, I think meth's great. Didn't I just do that in the video? I no sooner than did it, then some fucker shows up here. Some psychic vampire just desperate for company. He did the classic, hey man, you got a cigarette lighter? And when he pulled that beer out of like magically off his right butt cheek, the far side, he was working me the whole time. He was trying to get me to hang out. He's lonely as shit. And he started hustling product. Like, I'm going to take him around to the people I know here in Pflugerville and help him move some product and shit like that. And go like, hey man, you want to do a bolo? Yeah, let's do a bolo now. I don't really have an addictive personality. Once almost 3 years because I was pretty much eating up everything wild edible in my locality. Didn't want to have any contact with humans because of people like him, and didn't care if I died or not. I'd been severely traumatized. I haven't found anything except the hand-to-mouth oral fixation, which I use tobacco. I still kind of use it too because it helps me to. This is not, what's the term? Making excuses. I'm just telling you. I smoked sample occasionally as a kid, but when I went to California, I thought it was the acacia or something, or maybe the smog, but it was really, turns out it was fragrances was causing my nose to close and drippage, post-nasal drip. I found that when I smoked a cigarette, I just pulled some down out of it stopped that post-nasal drip and the little coffins from it. That wasn't a seizure, that was me mimicking so I'm kind of glad that I'm surrounded by people who are judgmental, and I know I'm being judged right now. And to tell you the truth, it got to a point there when I wasn't sure if he was going to leave as promised, that I was going to have to whoop his ass, which means jail for both of us. Hospital for him, technically, then jail, but me straight off to jail. Well, no, they'd have to take me to the hospital too, because I'd be fucked up after I fucked him up. If you smoke meth and you think you're a cool person, you're not. Absolutely not. You started using it because you have super, super low self esteem. I can't be around people like that. You probably started doing it out of loneliness, and it only amplified your loneliness. All you're doing is just amplifying all the problems in your life. I don't want to hear it. You're tired of listening to my voice right now. I'm tired of listening to my voice. This is just me venting and kind of bragging about the fact that I managed to, for about a 30-minute period, put up with a completely jabbermouth motherfucking meth head. So I got mad at Sean. I didn't know whether he was accusing me of meth usage or just saying meth is bad. I didn't see the relationship. He just said meth is bad. But the hobo lovers, homophiliacs, have said the same thing to me. Dude, meth is bad, man. You need to get off that shit. See, I thought it was another cryptic. Never trust somebody who's. I'm getting ready, but I need to really be mentally prepared. I want to get it done in short enough format. This is just kind of me entertaining you while you're having a stubby at the pub or at the tavern or something, or it's way past, it's probably high tea time in Australia, but it's already past high tea in England. And really, there are some things that really, how do you fix a person with low self-esteem? I ain't got no answers. I'm gonna leave it right there. I don't know it all. Some of y'all think I act like I know it all. I don't. Because if I could magically change that person to stop being a psychic fucking lonely vampire and shit, and probably a moocher and a thief, where the hell did he get them propane bottles for that he was trying to sell? And bear in mind, he's throwing in the tank. It's not just a refill charge. You know, he wants at least the price of a refill charge. It's the price of the hustle. And I'm going like, yeah. Actually, that's where I started joking. I said, yeah, I could use a couple of them to heat my house here. You know? You get my drift? Later.